So what is the best upgrade that you can do on your 2018 Lexus LC500? Hey guys, I'm Rich. Welcome to Rich with Cars. I started off my channel with this right here, the Lexus LC500. Modified it, so I did a lot of videos with it, and frankly speaking, I didn't know what else to do, but recently I actually switched over to an Apple phone, or an iPhone basically, because I've always been an Android fan. So last year, at the beginning of the year, I ended up getting an iPhone for the first time ever. So there was no need for me to actually try to get Apple CarPlay. Fast forward a little bit, I had a really tough year last year. I didn't really get a chance to really do anything. But once I got a bit of free time, I ended up making the decision of going to the dealership and retrofitting my 2018 Lexus LC500 with Apple CarPlay, because if you guys didn't know, the 2018 LC500 did not come with Apple CarPlay standard. They started making it standard on the 2019 model year, and that was a wired Apple CarPlay option they had. So now that I have an iPhone, I said might as well do it, because you know, most people will use their phone or their phone sort of like UI, whether it's Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, for their vehicles. So in this video, I want to show you guys how it looks like on the 2018, and why I think you guys should be doing that as an upgrade if you're looking to get a 2018, or if you already have a 2018 Lexus LC500. I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, so let's get her started. Yeah, that's from the Army Trick exhaust. If you guys heard that little snap or whip on the startup. Yeah, it's a bit of a cold start. It's actually cold here in Orlando. So let's see how this looks like. So I'm gonna plug this in, because it is plugged in. It's not a wireless Apple CarPlay, but nevertheless, it's still pretty good. So as soon as I plug it in, you guys see that right away it actually shows up. So the colors don't look as vibrant on this screen because it's an older screen. It's not, I don't think it's OLED, so they're not going to be as vibrant, but regardless, generally it's actually very good. The controls are also pretty good, you know, given the fact that a lot of people complained about the touchpad on the Lexus vehicles. So, you know, you basically have all your main functionalities. And given the fact that it's an Apple CarPlay, you get all the updates also. So whatever you get to see, like that new screen, I can show, you know, you guys know how Apple CarPlay basically looks like now. Of course, it's not touch, because you do have on the older models of the LC500, you have sort of like a plastic cover or screen over here that covers the actual screen. So you can't directly touch the screen, and the screen is not touched. So the only way that the screen will work, or the functionality will work, will be through the touchpad. Of course, yeah, it's not optimal, but it's definitely better than using the Lexus UI. So when we're talking about maps, when we're talking about the phone itself, this is not Apple CarPlay Ultra, so you won't be able to actually use, you know, some of the car's functionalities like you do, for example, now on the newer Aston Martins. I'm trying to see what else there is. So if you go into the settings, of course, that's basically the different settings on the Apple CarPlay. But yeah, most of this stuff is all now Apple CarPlay related. Okay, so now we have Apple CarPlay right here in front of us. And I want to show you guys a little bit of how it looks like directly on the screen itself. Google Maps looks like, and that's Google Maps. The only downside, of course, is the fact that you cannot, you know, move around the map easily via touchscreen, because it's not a touchscreen. So the only way that you can move around is through the touchpad. That's the only thing that I would say is a little bit inconvenient. But aside from that, I usually don't tend to scroll around the map itself. Now, if I go to the main menu, you have all the other apps that are installed on your phone as well. The Apple CarPlay on the LC500 is actually pretty good. And then if you want to go back to the Lexus home screen, you can do it through here. Or if I'm back in Apple CarPlay, I can just basically, let's pull back a bit. I can just go back into menu over here. And then the menu will show your menu items here at the bottom, depending on. So I typically tend to do this quite a bit actually. So when I'm in Apple CarPlay and I want to change something in the climate, for example, let's say I want to make sure that Climate Concierge is actually on, then I just go there. And then I just go back to press the menu hard button at the bottom, and then I just switch back to Apple CarPlay. So pretty simple stuff. Now there's one last thing I want to talk to you guys about in regards to doing the retrofit for Apple CarPlay. Of course, you can do it by yourself. There are, I'll try to link it in the description for you guys. There is a place where you can go directly, download the actual Apple CarPlay instructions and the, I guess the firmware, and then you can do it yourself. It does take about an hour based on what I've read, but I've read also in the forums that sometimes for whatever reason, there's something that will get corrupted as you're doing the retrofit with the firmware, and it'll turn your head unit into a brick. What does that mean? Basically, your head unit will basically be unfunction. It won't function properly. So if you end up doing that and you do it yourself, you're stuck with a unusable head unit. You can't use anything. You can't use the climate control because your screen is basically a brick. And then at that point, what I've read is that to replace a head unit, it's like upwards of $5,000 or $6,000. That's a very, very expensive mistake, or very expensive, I guess, downside to doing it by yourself. When if you go to the dealership yourself, you pay $200. Some dealerships will charge you $250. Some others $299. I ended up paying $199 for mine. They're really nice. They know me, so they charged me that much. I think that's standard at my dealership, and so I paid the $200. I have the peace of mind that if something were to go wrong during the upgrade or during the retrofit, then I know that they're responsible and they would actually cover the costs of replacing the head unit themselves. So what would you rather pay? $200, be safe, or let's just say worst case scenario, would you rather pay $300, have that peace of mind, be safe, and that's it, call it a day, or do it yourself, save the $300, and then risk having to pay over $5,000 in case something were to happen? I mean, it's up to you. I think that if you're already going for an LC500, you should be able to fork out at least $300 to do the retrofit and have that convenience. So anyways, I hope that you guys liked it. I hope this was useful for you and helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to put in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer any comments or questions that you guys have. And make sure to stay tuned for other videos I'm going to be doing on reviews of luxury and exotic vehicles. All right, guys, I'll see you the next time. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.